Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about sounds like our schools are turning into prison grounds. UberEats Driver says he was arrested after delivering food to a school superintendent. Yep, another driver arrested for simply doing his job, and this time it's on school ground. And yeah, I definitely feel what people are saying when schools are turning into prisons. I mean, my high school felt like a prison for more ways than one. So with that said, I want to go over what's being said in this article, how it actually is based on experience, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. An UberEats driver went viral on TikTok after sharing that he was allegedly detained by authorities while delivering food to a school in Texas. You know, honestly, I'm a little surprised that I'm hearing Texas. In my mind, I always thought Texas was the chill state in comparison to everybody else. And by chill, I mean more along the lines of very liberal. You can do a lot more in Texas than you can get away with in New York or California. There's a lot less restrictions. So when I hear that this happened in Texas of all places, I'm impressed. User Jonathanreisig posted the clip on Friday where it has garnered 260,000 views. In the clip, he explained he received a sonic order from a school superintendent. While attempting to deliver the order, he says he was apprehended by two police officers who then searched his car. The things you do for content, huh? As usual, I'm going to leave the TikTok as well as the profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. One of the things that I've started noticing is that there's a lot more police officers around school grounds. They want to make sure no one's driving too fast in school zones. They don't want any incidents to happen in schools. So I guess that's kind of what happened here. Although I am questioning why the police officers just arrested him and didn't ask questions or anything like that. In my area, I'm in Florida. The first thing I do is I acknowledge the police officer. I say, hey, I gotta deliver an Uber Eats order. Where can I go to deliver it? And they're pretty chill about it at that point. I'm surprised they didn't feel that for themselves here. I feel like there's something a little bit more happening, though, that we're just not seeing yet. Jonathan says he had already been through the school's gate and was about to deliver the order to the woman when he turned around and noticed the cops behind him. So you were past the gate. You drove into the area where the school zone was. You made it past the gate. You were about to deliver the order. And then the cops just snuck behind you and arrested you? Like, what kind of nonsense is that? Did you do something when you're not an Uber Eats driver and then they found you while doing Uber Eats? I feel like I have so many questions. They're like, what are you doing here? Jonathan says. I'm like, I'm just delivering food. The food in the bag should definitely give that away, right? And the superintendent in front of them should be more than enough reason, right? No, cops don't actually think that hard, do they? The police officers then allegedly asked Jonathan if he was leaving. Jonathan replied yes, since he has just accepted another Uber Eats order, which makes perfect sense because you drop it off and you freaking leave. That's what you're supposed to do. They're like, you could cancel that order right now. Jonathan says the cops told him, oh, we're dealing with dirty cops. We got dirty cops in Texas. Let's see what the actual reason is. Like, if there's an actual reason. I don't know what it was, but apparently reasonable suspicion, Jonathan says, was the alleged reasons the cops detained him. Reasonable suspicion refers to the lawful procedure where a police officer can stop and justifiably search someone based on special facts and circumstances that they believe arouse suspicion. You hear that? Suspicion includes us doing our job. Seriously, this is the absolute biggest failure of the law enforcement community. I am disgusted. Jonathan says the superintendent tried to get involved to defend him, but the police officers threatened her with arrest. Okay, so it wasn't a trap by the superintendent. It's just these cops who don't know how integrity works, and they're a bunch of failures, decided to arrest the guy for no reason. They went through my effing car, he continues in the video. Put me in effing handcuffs, detained me for like a effing half hour. This is why no one trusts cops anymore. They're just failures. all of them. At this point, 6 more cops show up, Jonathan says. He needs 6 of you to detain one person who's just trying to do his job. Now, I know that everything I say about cops on here is usually pretty negative. A lot of it comes from personal experience, by the way, and the fact that I come from a family full of cops. It's amazing how people won't actually do their job when it comes to people doing the wrong thing in actual places where the law is being broken. But in this particular case, they're just arresting people for no reason. The driver says he filed a report and that the school superintendent said she would also report the department while submitting a video of the entire incident. I mean, make all the reports you want. Cops can get away with whatever they want. They're corrupt shitbags. When are we going to defund these people? This is the failures that they are. I'm never taking an order delivery to a school, he says at the end of the video. I mean, at this point, it's irresponsible to. If cops are going to stake out schools just to randomly arrest people for no reason, the school might need to put in a policy not to have orders delivered there. Otherwise, they could be liable for a lawsuit. Like, he could probably sue for damages for his business and other opportunities to make more money from that as well. In a follow-up video, Jonathan shared that both the officers have been put on administrative leave without pay. While he did not mention which police department the officers belong to, the TikToker appears to live in Austin, Texas, based on his previous videos. Honestly, they should have been stricken from their badges. Open the high-paying opportunity for those who choose to do their job by evicting those who choose not to. Like, this is just gonna happen again. And that's assuming that they actually got administrative leave without pay. And that's not just something they're saying for political reasons. Maybe it's because she's the superintendent of the district. I have no idea, he says. Or maybe it was because it was so serious that they considered it ridiculous. Yeah, you know what? I do think the superintendent of the district had a lot to do with it. Honestly, if this wasn't the case where the superintendent of the district had to get involved and she chose not to get involved because it wasn't her problem, it would have been swept under the rug like no problem. No one would have known it would have happened. Jonathan explains that he's a good, upstanding citizen without so much as a speeding ticket, which is why this incident is a big deal to him. He claims the lawyers will handle everything from here on out. They freaking better. Honestly, I am genuinely upset that this happened to the guy. Like, really? It's a big deal to me, and I'm just reading about it. They better suck the money out of that precinct, I swear. In the comment section, TikToker clarified he contacted Uber to let him know of the situation. They apparently were getting a lot of the same calls and told him they might just make the app unavailable in those locations. Ah, so this is a common issue within Uber now. First off, that is more than just a support team. You know that went up the ladder. The law enforcement community in Texas has gotten so corrupt that they're not even working in Texas anymore. Or at least in Austin, in any place where law enforcement would tend to hang out. Like, seriously? How bad does that have to be? To where the most corrupt people in the world, like, you don't even want to deal with them anymore. And all of these officers got was a couple weeks of administrative leave. Honestly, they should have been just fired outright. And that should have been so public to where they can't even get another job anymore. That's how I would do it anyway. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not surprised that law enforcement officers chose to take a corrupt path and do some serious harm to this guy's life. The amount of harassment this guy endured is embarrassing. The fact that they weren't fired is wrong and displays a lot about how Austin, Texas fails to enforce the law in their community. Find actual criminals. Don't just harass those who are probably doing better than you are. I really hope the lawyer gets him so much money he never has to work a day in his life again. Like, take their house, take everything. That's how you defund them. But now it raises a new issue for a lot of gig workers, no matter who you are. Should we stop delivering to schools? Because now if cops are gonna pull this corrupt stuff, it's irresponsible for for us to take any order to a school and not risk getting arrested. Now, in my area, I'm very thankful I haven't had that issue, even though there are officers that literally are outside of the school. But this is insane. This shouldn't have happened. This guy haven't even gotten a speeding ticket, and you're trying to just harass the guy? Jonathanreisig, I am so sorry that this happened to you, and I really hope that you get everything you deserve out of this court case. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!